Hi, I'm Dan Schinner here on Drum Talk TV at NAMM 2014. Can you tell by all the noise? And I'm here with Paul Francis of Zildjian Cymbals. How are you, Paul?
I'm fantastic. Welcome, Dan.
Thank you very much. Thanks for coming on the show to tell us all about, wow, the Zildjian product line, the Zildjian heritage. Sure. First, tell everybody your position and what you do.
I am Director of Research and Development for the Avida Zildjian Company. I've been with Zildjian for about 25 years now.
What is your main function?
I'm a cymbal maker. I deal with drum stores and distributors and artists, and I make cymbals.
So
every single day.
Are you very involved in the actual research and development of everything?
Yep, I'm in charge of it. We research different alloys to use, or different ways to manipulate the alloy, cup shapes, types of hammering to work the metal, lathing, which is metal removal from the cymbals, ways to pitch it, how much more volume or less volume we can get out of the cymbal. We research all of that and develop it into products that people want to play.
The science of cymbalurgy.
That's right. It's kind of a mix of, science and art.
Right, absolutely. Now, how does it work as far as, do you have a sound in your head and then you try to create it? Or do you know the alloys so well, their properties, that you come up with a formula and say, let's see what this does and let's shape it this way, see what what's the process and how long does it go from thought to product?
Well, usually the conversations go like this if we're dealing with an artist. The artist will come in and say, I have this cymbal and it sounds great and it does this, but I needed to do a little bit more this. So we talk and we use adjectives, which is very difficult.
So it's active feedback?
It's feedback, and then my experience, I take what's being given as feedback and I apply that to the shaping of the material.
Literally.
Literally.
And the shaping of the sounds and the properties and personalities of the product.
Right. That's right. We do explore other alloys, but Zildjian's been making a B20 bronze, or 80% copper, 20% tin, for going on 391 years.
Wow.
So the original Avidus, it was actually back in 1618 that he was asked by the Sultan in Turkey to make him some cymbals. So the original Avidus was a metalworker, so he made some cymbals out of 8 parts copper, 2 parts tin, and the Sultan thought they sounded so fantastic and better than any other cymbals he's heard, he gave him the name Zildjian. So the original guy was named for the product that he created, rather than applying his own name to the product. So the way that it worked was the next eldest male member of the family was passed on this secret recipe, this secret process.
And the name.
And the name to continue the family legacy. And now I had the great time of working with Armin Zildjian for the last 8 or 9 years of his life. And now I work for his daughters, Craigie, who's the CEO, and Debbie, who's the Vice President of Human Resources. So they're in charge of Zildjian now. And
wow, that's
we're
great.
Still carrying on this great thing of
the legacy.
Zildjian cymbals, yes,
yeah.
Absolutely.
So nice to hear some of the history, and I don't know how many of you have known all that history, but it's nice to give the legacy a context, Tell us about some of the new products.
Sure.
And how they differentiate from, if there's a common denominator that differentiates Zildjian from other brands, what would that be before he shows the product?
Well, the way that we've been told and the way that we look at it is when drummers think of a cymbal sound in their head, they're referencing a Zildjian cymbal sound.
So it's context, really, to everybody's
context.
sound.
So any type of music, if someone talks to you about some album from whatever era in the 50s or 60s or 70s, 99% of the time that's a Zildjian cymbal that's been played on that recording. So Zildjian's really the benchmark for everything cymbals, everything. So when people talk about a great set of hi-hats, they're usually referencing a set of Zildjian new beat hi-hats.
Right.
Or that great crash sound could have been an 18-inch Avida Zildjian thin crash.
Right.
Yeah, in the recordings.
Awesome.
So behind
Let's see
us,
some product, yeah.
So behind us for 2014, these are some K cymbals, and K is named after Kerope Zildjian, who ran the foundry in Turkey from 1865 until 1909.
Wow.
In the history of Zildjian, he was touted as being the most talented out of all the Zildjians and actually elevated cymbal making to a higher art. So we've been working on some cymbals, and these are just cymbals. You'll notice that that none of these say ride or crash or splash.
They don't have a label.
No.
Or, sorry, they don't have a label, basically.
Correct. We developed some cymbals that harken back to some, cymbals that were K-style and A-style sounds back in the 50s, 60s, and 70s, where you could use them for any type of style of music. You could use it for pop, you could use it for R&B, you could use it for jazz.
And that's great for the versatile drummer.
Right. Exactly. So some of the attributes with this cymbal here is the type of hammering that we did. You can notice the hammer marks are all over the place, or something that we would call random, where it's not in rows, all neat and clean.
Right.
We put in a very shallow bell, and then we take the bell to a hammer, and we hammer the bell into a newer shape. So each 22, such as this one is, each bell will be similar but a little bit different from its brother in the batch. And then we do a very specific lathing to remove metal from certain areas. We know what type of taper that we want, the lathing, the type of grooves that are going to go in there. And then one of the things that Zildjian's been asked to do for at least 15 years, can you make the cymbals look old? Like they've been sitting in a pawn shop.
With the patina and yeah.
Exactly. So we were able to come up with a process. There was a lot of research done to get it to do this patina sooner than 30 years. And what we realized when we applied this process, it got the sound sweeter in the cymbal.
Nice.
It almost brought everything together.
I have a question. There's this, there's certain things that people are so passionate about, and they'll argue about, like, well, I hate to throw it out there, Republican or Democrat, or Windows or Mac,
right.
or, all those things. Okay, so I'm going to ask you a question from basically, for all intents and purposes, Mr. Zildjian, to clean or not to clean?
Well, a cymbal such as this, where we've aged it for you, you do not want to clean this.
What about in general? And does it depend on what someone wants out of their sound?
It's personal preference. If you've bought a cymbal and you've had it for 20 years and you've never cleaned it, and then you do clean it, it's going to be a drastic sound change, because what accumulates on the cymbal is, fingerprints, the oils from your fingers, the atmosphere.
Sweat, beer, blood, all kinds of things.
All that stuff. So you're actually essentially removing that and getting the cymbal almost back to what you bought originally. And we've told people, if you like the sound of the cymbal now, after 20 years, leave it alone, But if you want it to be storeroom new, like you bought it, absolutely clean it. But it's a personal preference. It's a personal preference.
I had to ask.
Yep.
Let's hear this baby.
All right, so here's the 22. It's a great mix of highs and lows, and with the bell, the way that we built the bell in there, it's more integrated into the sound. So when you hit the bell, you hear the whole cymbal gets activated, rather than on some other models that we make, where the bell is separated and is very chimey. So this was done on purpose, so you could activate the whole body. It's got a great crash sound. It's not very heavy, but you get a nice, clean stick sound.
And a relatively short decay.
Yes. On the bottom, we have the Zildjian logo with a very nondescript size moniker on it. And then our customers have asked for us to put the weight of the cymbal.
Oh, really?
We just write the weight in magic marker.
Really?
Is it called magic marker anymore?
Sharpie? I don't know.
So
Crayon?
we write it in grams. Everybody wants it in grams
Right.
for some reason. So we do that, and that lets the drummer know kind of where this is going to sit. Is it going to play thin? Is it going to play medium? Is it going to play medium heavy?
Right.
So that helps the musician, the drummer,
right?
a reference. This is where this is living. We're not going to tell you it's a ride, a crash, or it's a medium ride.
It's however you use it is what it is.
Whatever you want it to do,
Yeah.
it's what you do with it.
Has that always been the spirit of the K series, that it's not a label? Because I seem to remember that there was a K ride, and it was more labeled. This is sort of the other end of the evolution?
Yeah, we're going backwards. We want the drummers to go in, find cymbals that speak to them, and make music with it. It's not our responsibility with these handcrafted instruments to tell you how to use it. Use it as you wish.
Right.
So we have some 20s as well. Can I play a 20?
Yeah, absolutely. A lot brighter.
When you get smaller in diameter on cymbals, the pitch always goes up.
Sorry about that. I was holding the mic to the cymbal, thinking it was still talking. I want to. Can I see the response?
Sure, I'm just kidding.
Very nice. Love how it feels.
So even for a lighter cymbal, it doesn't get away from you.
I'm sorry. Say that again.
A thin cymbal that's designed like this, it won't get away from you when you play it. You get
Right.
a good mix of stick definition and crashability, and there's a little bit of wash in there. So it's the best of all worlds. So.
Great.
So
What do you
we'll
have
go
next?
down the line a little bit more. We have more 22s and 20s, so we can play those quickly.
Okay.
And then we're going to go around. I'll play some hi-hats
Okay.
in the Kerope line, and then some other sizes as well.
Okay. So now we're at the hi-hat section. What's up with the hi-hats?
Well, originally we were just going to design a set of 15s in the Kerope series, and when we were prototyping and getting cymbals out to our top artists, a lot of them don't play a set of 15s. So the feedback was, these are fantastic. Are you going to make 14s? So we made some 14s as well. And like the 20s and the 22s, they have their own kind of individual cup that we rehammer into a new shape. So on the 15s, it's a little bit larger. On the 14s, it's a little bit smaller. The tops are thin to medium thin, where the bottoms are medium. They have a nice chick, but it's not a heavy set of hi-hats. They're very Motown-y to me.
Yeah, I was going to say R&B, funk, fusion, stuff like that.
So you can play swing on them, but you hear all those old tracks, you know, those Motown tracks. So let me play the 14s for you.
Sure.
So you get a nice solid chick, but it's not heavy and clunky. So you can play some jazz time on it, but play some swampy grooves on there. Do you want to check them out, Dan?
Yeah. Can I see the other stick?
Sure.
Thanks. A lot of color. Nice. Very nice.
So here we have a set of 15s, and like the 14s, it has a thin top and a medium bottom. Nice subtle chick, you know. Fat.
Yeah, fat.
Check them out.
Thanks. Love that.
You want them,
Those are
Dan,
nice.
don't you?
I do want them.
So I'm gonna go over these as well. These are new for 2014. These are 16-inch K light hi-hats.
Those are 16.
These are 16s. Now we had these in the catalog years ago, but as everybody knows, music goes in trends.
Yeah.
A lot like clothing.
Like clothing.
Yeah. So cymbals got small all of a sudden, and they came back and they got big, where drummers had maybe 2 cymbals and a big set of hi-hats.
Yeah.
So we brought these back out of retirement, and these are just, you can use these for anything.
Oh, yeah.
Hi-hats.
Wow. Yeah, I got to try 16. Those are great. Those are really nice. Yeah. Those are cool.
Continue a little bit further on with Keropes. We have 18 and 19-inch Keropes here. And like the other sizes, the 20s and the 22s, these are thin, and we're not calling these rides or crashes either.
They're just cymbals.
They're cymbals. So check these out. So you get a nice stick definition, but you can crash them. And here's another 18.
Wow.
19s. You want to come around?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, you know what I want to check is I want to also check the choke on it.
Sure.
Like it. What's that? No.
There's more cymbals if you want to.
Okay. Yeah. Which ones?
Right here.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So
Ready?
what do we have here?
All right, so this is a 10-inch A Custom EFX, and it's a special effects cymbal, kind of white noise.
Cool.
We make a 14, a 16, an 18, and a 20 in the A Custom series, and we had this as kind of a limited time offer years ago, and we've been asked to bring it back out. Now, on its own, it's very funky and trashy.
Do that again. Sorry.
But the great thing about a cymbal like this is you can also stack it on another cymbal.
Yeah.
And you can get a really gated type of white noise, kind of quick staccato sound.
Do you have like a matrix in your catalog that works like wine pairings, like what some of these work best
Yes.
with in your line? That's cool.
And below this, we have another cymbal we're bringing out of retirement.
Yeah.
This is the 20-inch K
Dark
Dark Crash Thin.
Yeah.
And again, cymbals were getting bigger and they were using less in their setup, so this can be used as a ride, a crash, or whatever you want, and it sounds like this. That's pretty, isn't it?
Yeah, that dark ride sound that it has. That's cool. That's beautiful.
So that's it for 2014 on the acoustic cymbal side for Zildjian.
Great. Thanks so much for joining us here, Paul,
Absolutely. It's
on
been my
Drum Talk
pleasure.
TV
All right.
at Zildjian. This is great. It's really been an honor. Really appreciate it.
Thanks for coming by.
Thank you for watching, everybody.